Hi there, folks. Today is a very special day because this video is, drumroll, the 100th video to be posted to the channel. So to celebrate, I thought I'd try something that might seem rather unorthodox. I'm certainly unaware of anyone doing something like this. But what we're going to do is revisit our old friend, the in-running scalping technique. Now, if you're not familiar with what that is, there's a playlist available with all the relevant videos. So if you like to peruse that in your own leisure, by all means do so. But the twist to the tale is that we're actually going to do two things. One, we're going to apply that technique to both sides of the market, but we're going to do it to a tennis market. I was thinking this morning that there's no reason why you can't apply the in-running scalping technique to any volatile market. And there's certainly volatility in tennis markets, if you're familiar with tennis markets. So we're just looking at this particular match. It's about to start. That's the issue with tennis matches. They tend to get delayed starts all the time, so that can be a pain. So in the meantime, let me just run through the settings. Essentially, I'm just using the same settings as I might use in the horse racing, except I've got the filler kill switched off, using much the same setting for trading with a 3 tick offset and smart bets. And I've got a lay stake set to a liability and a back stake set to a profit. So in other words, whenever you click on the back side, the stake is calculated based on that stake being a bet for that outcome to win £100. So that's essentially what we're going to do. We're going to click on either side once this gets underway, click on both players on the first lay, and click on both players in the first back. And each of those trades will have a 3 tick offset. Now, you won't be surprised to learn I'm doing this in simulation mode throughout the day, because I've no idea whether it would work. However, let me show you what I've done already. And there you see my first 3 trades have been tremendously successful. We've got £236 profit there. This one's about, well, that's got 2.5 hours to get going. This one hopefully will start soon. This one's underway at the moment. It's still got some trades waiting to be taken. Let me see the state of this just now. The Sharma match is into set 2, just started. McAnally won the first set, 6-2, so she's won quite comfortably. So in actual fact, at this point, I think I would probably just trade out and just green up, make sure I've greened up, and leave that there. This one hasn't gone my way. I've not really been watching these markets, to be perfectly honest. I just set them up fairly early on, and occasionally I've gone back in when the bets have all been taken. I've gone and done the same again. This is an example of a non-volatile tennis match. You can see that this player here, Thomas Echeverry, has essentially dominated, and I got in this sort of level here. Let's see where he is in terms of score. Yeah, he's completely dominated the first set, and it looks like he's dominating the second set as well. Yeah, if I was monitoring this, I probably would have got out at the start of the beginning of the second set or the end of the first, or if it hits sort of a minus 100 red up. You know, this one just hasn't gone my way, so we'll just green out or red out for that to guarantee the loss. Okay, we're just waiting for this one to go in play now then. So once this goes in play, we'll put in the bets and see how we get on. Okay, they've kicked off, or should I say, served off in the Nottingham Challenger. So all we do here is the same as you would do in a horse race. With this technique, you just click on the lay side and our little twist, click on the back side. That puts in those bets. Now, tennis being tennis, it may be a while for those bets to start getting taken. And in this particular match, there's not a huge amount of money yet, although that will build up over the course of the match. So rather than sitting and looking at this particular grid, let me just recap on some of the results that have already gone, and we'll come back to this as and when. So generally speaking, what I've been doing is all these matches here have relatively all been selected based on their odds. I haven't done any sort of form analysis of the players or anything. I literally randomly selected them late this afternoon as I was trying to find matches to try this on. All of them, apart from the Medvedev match, they all had a favourite who was hovering around the 1.5, 1.6-ish mark. This one, the Medvedev one, he started off at a very low price, 1.1, 1.12, thereabouts. But he rose up as high as 1.3, and that was quite volatile for the first half of the first set, and then he started to dominate. By which time I'd been in 2 or 3 times and built up that profit of £105. So that worked really well. The other ones, as you can see with this match that we've just started on, our bets are slowly getting taken. We could easily green up for an £11 tick there, an £11 profit, I should say. The other one that's still ongoing, that's the one I greened up earlier on. I think that was probably the sensible decision given the state of play in the beginning of the second set. So really the only 2 that we've got left going is this one that we're involved in just now and the one that hasn't started as yet. So what I'll do is I'll just pause the video, let these bets clear away, which they've more or less done now. Just that one to be taken, and I'll come back and we'll just reload. Given that the match has just started, there's plenty of time to go in 2 or 3 times. Once this is taken, I'll check the status of the match and see how it's going, because unlike this one that I wasn't paying any attention to, I don't want one of these players to end up dominating the market. If that happens, you really need to get out. Right, we'll just pause just now. Cheers. Okay, you can see here that the first game is gone. It's gone to sock, and we've had all our bets taken. So this early stage in the match, we can simply go back in and reload. So we'll try that again, rather than sit hoping to see everything get taken. I'll pause the video and jump back in when things have settled down again. We've still got some bets to be taken, but it's worth pointing out, of course, that you'll often find that one of these will have a relatively large liability on it, depending on the odds. But more often than not, you can still trade out if you want to. But we're going to let this run. Now let's see the scores so far. Yeah, we're only just in the second game. Evans looks like he might take that. So the odds will take a big jump, and hopefully some of these will be taken. Okay, so we'll come back once these bets have been matched. Okay, we've only got one bet still to take, which is sitting up here someplace. So rather than waiting for that to be taken, we can obviously green up at this particular point, ready to go back in again. So let's just check where we are. Okay, everything's going to serve at the moment. It's 1-2 or 2-1 to sock. So that's fine. We can obviously go back in. We'll do it one more time and I think we'll probably wrap up the video. So let's just do the same again. And we'll come back in a few minutes. Again, you'll see we've got just the one bet still to be taken, sitting up here, £38. I'm just going to green that up and take that. And we'll wrap up rather than me keep on going. I think you've seen enough to get the idea and to whet your appetite. A couple of things I should point out first of all. If you want to do this, make sure you're monitoring the market and the score. Unlike what I've been doing, I literally randomly selected these, essentially based on price. But I haven't been monitoring the market, and I certainly would have got out earlier on this match when I saw it was so one-sided. Easy to say that in hindsight, of course. But the main thing you need to be aware of, I'm obviously testing this in simulation mode. You know, I'm currently doing a proof of concept, if you like. One thing you should be aware of with the tennis markets, if you aren't already, they jump significantly depending on what's happening on court. So whenever a point is won, they'll jump a certain amount. When a game is won, particularly if it goes against the service, there's a big jump. And then, of course, when a set is won. What you'll find is, as the market ebbs and flows, there can be a significant gap between the front of the lay side and the front of the back side. And your money in simulation mode might be sitting somewhere in between. But the market, of course, doesn't know that it's there. So Fairbot has to estimate it being taken. So just be aware of that and assume, for the purposes of safety, if you like, assume that these figures may be artificially high. So test this in real life as well if you want to give it a bash. But you know, start off with smaller stakes, so perhaps just £25 each side may be the better way to go. But looking at that, so we've got, well, that one and that more or less cancels that out. So we're looking at 80, 130 plus another 40, so £170 for essentially no effort, which is a very promising first look. Okay, so that's the cookie idea for today on the 100th video posted. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I'll catch you later. See ya.